Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and today we've got some pretty awesome news. As you guys have been seeing, OMI did have a confirmation on our price, so I'm going to be covering that later on. I did also want to review a interview that Dan Crovers, the COO, did a little while back, and there was a few things that were discussed at the time, but it kind of just lost traction. I just want to revisit them, specifically this idea of golden gems. I thought that was pretty cool, and Dan seemed quite enthusiastic about it, and quite adamant that this kind of feature would come in the future. So I just wanted to discuss that with you guys, as well as a few few updates in regards to the community, just a few bits of due diligence, and we'll wrap up with our daily price analysis. So firstly, I just want to go through, as always, I always tell everyone, do your due diligence, and most importantly, don't act on speculation, like very weak speculation. So I do kind of keep up to date with what, people who I may not agree with are saying and doing, just so I can kind of use it as an example, just to show, this is what can happen if you blindly just, go all in on, some kind of very minor speculation. So Indy Kyler was saying something about another announcement, 7 p.m. And it basically turned out that he said that we will get a new exchange, which was kind of already known. People already knew this, not really an announcement. So just don't make any big decisions based off of pure speculation. But on that point, we do know what's confirmed are the future contracts for OMI on Ascendex, and there has been suggestion that this is partly what's caused the price of OMI to rebound today. So future contracts will be trading with 50x leverage. So I think this will make it a bit more interesting because you can track how many contracts are expiring. You can track the positions of each one, how much the value of each one, and people do actually trade in that way by tracking, which contracts are going to be expiring and what their positions are, because either they want to force a short squeeze, for example, as we saw with GME, or they kind of just can use that as a way to predict whether the price is going to go up or down based off of the expiry dates of contracts. So I think this is good. It gives more options to traders as well as investors. So again, that's just a small bit of good news for me, but I don't think that's kind of like the main reason why the price is resurged. I'm going to cover that later on. But the overall crypto market has seen a bit of a push up to the upside, just because Michael Saylor, so he's the guy who kind of initially got Elon Musk, introduced to investing into Bitcoin through Tesla. So they had a conversation with the American Bitcoin miners, and they're trying to push for this kind of sustainable way of mining Bitcoin. And we know that Tesla, it's not. A lot of people consider it an auto manufacturer. I personally don't. I see it more of a tech company which focuses on AI and renewables. And this I was speculating on this for a while. Is Elon Musk is trying to push the price of Bitcoin down so they can increase their position in Bitcoin, and then in the future they're going to come out with renewable Bitcoin mining farms, run by Tesla. That's just what my long-term prediction with what's going to happen, and I wouldn't doubt it. I think something like that could happen. But staying on a point of Twitter, so the competition is still running. So I'm giving away 30 gems this week, Friday. All you have to do is subscribe and post any meme related to 5 Ultra DeLoreans myself. So there have been some really, really funny ones. Even if you don't want to participate, just have a look. If you just want to have a bit of a laugh. But I'll be announcing the winner on Friday. And something pretty cool that I also found. So VeVe, just a few days ago. So I had a colleague who worked with HoloLens, and they could essentially put a kind of mixed reality version of a computer screen. They could have 6 computer screens in front of them, and all they needed was a keyboard, and they could essentially, code on 6 screens at the same time whilst wearing the HoloLens. So that's pretty cool. And you can guys kind of see like the applications of wearables. So again, you can interact with 3D assets, but this is the person's real hand that's interfacing with this 3D asset whilst wearing a wearable, and that's pretty cool. So they're kind of tracking your hand. I assume it's kind of like mapped some kind of polygon mesh over it, which is interacting with the mesh on this 3D asset. And Dave Yu, CEO of Ecomi, he said, loving it. The possibility is unlimited. So having wearables mixed in with VeVe in the future, which is something they have been talking quite a lot about, would be pretty cool. You can physically kind of move your collectibles around in this mixed reality environment. So I think the AR mixed reality space is cool, but I feel like it is at the moment still not exactly profit generating. It is being propped up by a few specific companies, but again, just the concept of it is pretty cool. Now, the main thing that I would want to touch on is this interview that was done by Cryptotenx. So Dan Crovers, he gave some pretty cool insight back in February about the direction of Ecomi, VeVe, and these guys, they pitched in as well with their thoughts, and it is a really, really insightful interview. Definitely check it out. It's on the Cryptotenx channel. But I just wanted to share this one little segment in terms of kind of ideas that they do want to implement with regards to the whole gem system. So this is pretty cool.
And is there going to be? I saw that with the liquidity pools that people can come and participate in the Uniswap. You're going to be giving some rare NFTs as a bonus for that. How's that looking?
Yeah. So that's the plan. Obviously, there's still a bit to work out around that. But one of the reasons we built our own platform or our own swap site is so to give our users the opportunity when they're doing that wrap, they can enter their VeVe username and their VeVe email address, and then we can associate those tokens with that particular user, and then obviously we can track what's been done with the wrap tokens. And then out the other end of that, depending on what they do, incentivize with them with some rare collectibles or access to rare collectibles. I mean, we're playing around with a few ideas now, like maybe you get access to like a gold gem, and this gold gem will basically get you things on the platform that other people can't access. So there's a lot of cool things we can do. I can't say exactly when that reward will sort of come out, but it's a no-brainer for us that you support what we're doing, you provide liquidity, we're going to give you some cool stuff.
All right, so you guys heard it there. It's a no-brainer. If you guys are supporting OMI, supporting the liquidity pools, they're gonna try and incentivize that with some rewards. The one that Dan was speaking about just now, the gold gem, which gives you, access to things that you can't normally get access to, some exclusive collectibles. And the way that we've kind of seen certain cryptos work, whenever there's an airdrop, any kind of freebie, the price of it just spikes up. So, this is just adds on to something that can cause Ecomi's price to go up in the future. And I consider it right now growth potential that OMI has. So I think that is really, really cool. I'm quite excited to see that because I personally have not wrapped any of my OMI tokens. I haven't, put it in a liquidity pool staked anywhere. But if they can, confirm, hey, we're going to be offering this reward for anyone who starts staking, this and so much amount now, I will definitely, wrap my OMI tokens and stake it. And the process is very similar to how you would convert it to the new OMI token that's been spoken about as well. They would use a smart contract. You would send your OMI to there and then get back the equivalent amount of, the new OMI. So I think that is really cool. And just what I want to also touch on is the price of OMI bouncing back. Now, a lot of people had been saying, the price of OMI had been dipping the past month, and I was trying to compare it with Bitcoin to show that it hadn't actually been dipping. And just to be, as truthful and honest with you guys as possible, a lot of people are saying the price of OMI has been shooting up, and objectively, it has not. And this goes back to the point I make every single video is, if we go back to the 5th of May, it was 0.8 Bitcoin, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8 on the 13th, 0.8. And then here we had the kind of speculation about a new exchange. And then here, I said in the last video and the video before, OMI is becoming oversold. It looks oversold because it's lost that one-to-one pairing with Bitcoin. It's no longer a flat line. It's come down to 0.5. And that, my speculation was, if it's oversold, if it can quickly bounce back from that and hold at 0.8 again, then that just confirms, that one-to-one pairing with Bitcoin. One OMI should be, the equivalent of 0.8 Bitcoin with all the zeros before it. And that's exactly what it did. It's back to 0.8. Now, if it holds above here, then, if you guys were to map out a line, it's literally just a straight flat line that goes straight across. And you can see it actually bounced here at that 0.8 line. So, yeah, we're back at the exact same price we've been at since the 5th of May. So no actual change in OMI's valuation because it is tracking Bitcoin. That's just the way it is. But if we go to the USDT chart, it's a bit different. So I always advise tracking with Bitcoin just because, you're tracking crypto against crypto, and Bitcoin is kind of like, the main market mover of cryptocurrencies. But if we go to the hourly chart, now we did break the downtrend, but it is not broken because this could just be a dead cat bounce. We could be coming back with a downtrend following this trend line. It's done it multiple times before, so I wouldn't start speculating about what's causing the price to go up and FOMOing back in. It could still go back down. My strategy is always dollar cost averaging. I've bought here. I'll probably end up buying next month somewhere, wherever it is. But on the 4-hourly chart, it is looking better. We have come up back to this support back in that we had in February, but we have still got a long way up. So people should I was personally buying at these lows to bring my average price down. So I am still at a loss, but that's fine. I will continue to dollar cost average, and we've seen there's a lot of stuff coming. I personally don't care if people sell because the number of the amount of OMI held by the top 500 wallets has actually been decreasing. So that just shows that there has been a redistribution of wealth, which is good. It is a good thing, but we'll see. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through with you guys today. As always, please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.